Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. We are so glad you are joining us here today. This is Workforce Solutions Capital Area's annual event. We are calling it this year the Plan Ahead, Preparing Austin's Workforce Out of the Pandemic. My name is Tamara Atkinson, and I have the honor of serving as the CEO of Workforce Solutions Capital Area. Next slide, please. To get us started, just want to remind you a few things about this virtual event. We're sorry we can't be with you in person. If you haven't already, please configure your Zoom for speaker view. We also want you to know that we have enabled closed captions. So if you would like to be able to read the text as people are speaking, please select that on the lower toolbar. And in addition, if you have any comments that you would like to make or questions, we likely won't be able to get to questions in this webinar, but if you enter them into the Q&A, we will definitely record them and be happy to follow up after. Next slide. Last but not least, from me, you can see from this slide, we have a fun fact, fun-filled day today for you. We have an agenda that is packed with star-studded speakers, local leaders, just tremendous advocates for workforce development in our local community and across our state. And it is without further ado that I turn it over to our amazing MC, who's going to lead us through tonight's event. His name is Mr. Mark Sherry. Mark Sherry is the Regional Director for Human Resources at Baylor Scott & White Health. During his tenure at the organization, the region has more than doubled in employee count and geographical size. Mark has served in many community roles and has been recognized by the Austin Chamber as the 2018 Volunteer of the Year from the Talent Council. Mark currently serves as the Vice Chair of the Board of Directors for Workforce Solutions Capital Area, but perhaps what he would really like to be known for is that for 48 hours, I'm told, he served as a bodyguard for Fred Rogers. Yes, our own Mark Sherry was the bodyguard of Mr. Rogers. So you know you are in safe hands, even virtually, with Mark Sherry. Mark, I will turn it over to you. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Tamara. As my friend Mr. Rogers would say, you always make each day a special day just by being you, Tamara. So thank you very much. This is exciting. Thank you for letting me be part of your afternoon here on a beautiful day. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Workforce Solutions Capital Area's annual event entitled The Plan Ahead, Preparing Austin's Workforce Out of this Pandemic. My name is Mark Sherry, and I'm a proud member of the Workforce Solutions Board of Directors. I'm also glad that you're here with us today, and I'm honored to serve as your MC. Perhaps one of the common terms in the past 7 months is unprecedented. And all annual events for Workforce Solutions is even unprecedented. But so has been the pandemic in our country's health and economic systems. As a leader in the healthcare industry at Baylor Scott & White Health, I understand what it means to be first responders. And I'm proud of my company and our industries for stepping up and helping our neighbors and communities throughout these trying times. I'm also proud of the way Workforce Solutions stepped up as first responders for employment. With the March 6th cancellation of the South by Southwest Conference, many businesses and workers in the hospitality and food service industries, the face-to-face industries, felt the first impact of the economic toll on COVID. Workforce Solutions responded. We responded critical layoff aversion information and tips to dozens of businesses facing uncertain and frightening times. We answered and responded to over 40,000 phone calls and emails from impacted workers. We never stopped serving our community through virtual services and have even reopened to the public since June. Through it all, we provided a person, a plan, and hope that together we will get through this. This afternoon, we will share a few highlights of our progress together, the plan ahead. Rest assured that no matter what, Workforce Solutions will continue to connect the people of local people to local jobs. Before I go further, I'd like to recognize the Workforce Solutions staff who helped make today's event possible and who have worked tirelessly without complaint throughout this pandemic to serve our community. Thank you to the team behind today and every day that we help our area residents find and connect to better jobs. I'd like to now introduce this afternoon's event sponsor, Texas Mutual Insurance Company. Texas Mutual is the largest workers' comp insurer in Texas and was named the largest Austin-based private company by the Austin Business Journal in 2019. Congratulations. Thank you so much, Texas Mutual, for your longstanding partnership. I'll now turn it over to Rich Kurgasko, President and CEO of the Texas Mutual Insurance Company, a role he has held since joining that company in 2013. Rich?
Good afternoon, everyone. As Mark said, I'm Rich Kurgasko, President and CEO of Texas Mutual Insurance Company. And on behalf of Texas Mutual, I'm happy to introduce our next speaker. Texas Mutual is the state's leading workers' compensation provider, insuring 43% of the Texas workers' compensation market. We have 1,000 employees statewide who are committed to meeting the needs of more than 70,000 Texas business owners and 1.5 million Texas workers who rely on us every day to help keep them safe and return them home to their families every night. Our mission is to help create a stronger, safer Texas. And we do this through partnerships with organizations like Workforce Solutions Capital Area, who are making a difference in the lives of working Texans. Through services to job seekers and employers, and projects like the Community Workforce Plan that we are here to learn more about today, Workforce Solutions Capital Area plays a vital role in the strength of the Austin economy. In 2018, Texas Mutual made Workforce Solutions our first workforce development grantee. Our grant supported the board's strategy to increase employment opportunities in the skilled trades and manufacturing sectors. This grant led to a successful media partnership with Workforce Solutions Capital Area and KVUE Television called Trade Up Texas, which connected more than 1,000 people across Texas with the opportunity to learn more about working in the skilled trades. Because we have clients across the state, we interact with many other workforce boards and nonprofits. I can assure you that Workforce Solutions Capital Area stands out from their peers in taking a strategic approach to economic and workforce development. I want to personally encourage and maybe even challenge all the business and community leaders here with us today to get involved in these efforts just as Texas Mutual has. I believe we all have a responsibility to help upskill members of our community so they can provide a better life for their families while at the same time meeting the needs of employers. Through intentional action, we can create opportunities for everyone to share in the success of Austin. With that in mind, I'm happy to introduce Governor Greg Abbott. Governor Abbott is the 48th governor of the state of Texas. Before his election in 2014, Governor Abbott was the 50th and longest serving Attorney General of Texas. He also previously served as a justice on the Texas Supreme Court and as a state district judge in Harris County. Governor Abbott is a champion for the economy of Texas and a supporter of Texas businesses of all sizes. He's also a believer in improving the quality of the state's workforce through education and training programs, which will allow us to continue to compete for talent on the global stage. We're also thankful for the governor's request for federal funding through the Lost Wages Assistance Program that reinstated an additional $300 per week pandemic stipend to jobless Texans for the weeks of August 1st to September 5th. These funds are important for those who are struggling to make ends meet during this challenging time. Ladies and gentlemen, Governor Greg Abbott.
This is Governor Greg Abbott. As you all know, 2020 has been a trying year for this community and for the entire state of Texas as we have been responding to COVID-19. The virus has caused unprecedented public health challenges as well as economic disruption. But Texas is strong and our people are resilient, and we will bring the economy back stronger than ever before. So thank you to the Texas Workforce Commission for your tireless work to handle the surge of unemployment claims and for helping Texans receive the unemployment benefits they needed. And thank you to Workforce Solutions Capital Area for your work to connect Texans in Travis County with training and job opportunities during these difficult times. The fact is, Texas remains the premier economic destination in the United States. And working together, we will continue to attract even more investment, more jobs in the Austin area, and we will expand economic opportunity for every Texan. So thank you for what you do. May God bless you in your efforts, and may God forever bless the great state of Texas.
It's my pleasure at this time to introduce Sarah Eckhart, who was elected the senator for Bastrop and Travis counties in July of 2020. From 2015 to 2020, she served as a Travis County judge, presiding over the Commissioner's Court and representing 1.3 million people. Senator Eckhart also worked as an assistant Travis County attorney and served as Travis County Commissioner. Senator Eckhart.
Thanks so much, Mark. It is one of my top priorities as your newly elected state senator to help us recover our health and our economy from COVID-19. It's really hit all of us so hard. And we could not have better partners in meeting that goal than Tamara Atkinson at the Capital Area Workforce Solutions Board, as well as Paul Fletcher at the Rural Workforce Solutions Capital Area. Paul and Tamara have just done tremendous work setting a very high bar for us, and we can meet that bar. Even with COVID-19, and especially because of COVID-19, we need to meet that bar by harnessing our tremendous local talent, both in employers and in employees, so that we can make sure that every individual, every Travis County resident, every Bastrop County resident, Lee County, Fayette County, Caldwell County, Williamson County, and all of the people of Texas have access to opportunity, not just for today, but far into the future. I'm proud to have launched the 10,000 by 2021 initiative back in 2017 with Mayor Adler, who's going to be on screen with us here in a moment. That was an effort to recognize, hire, and promote our local talent into careers that are sustaining, not only sustaining for the person, but also sustaining for the employer and sustaining for the entire region. Workforce Solutions is there to harness the ambition and hard work of Travis County residents, helping each other get that first good job, get that next even better job, even to make the sometimes scary leap from the job of today to the career of tomorrow. One size does not fit all, and we recognize that in the Capital Area Workforce Solutions, both inside Travis County and in our Rural Workforce Solutions Board. That's why we have rapid employment models that get folks off that bubble into that better paying job. Gainful employment models that wrap a person with the necessary supports so that they can make the leap from that mere job of the moment to that career of a lifetime. We also work with our Workforce Solutions boards to make sure that we are looking at sort of those softer elements that you might not think about. Childcare. Wow, the pandemic has really proven up to us how crucial childcare is for individuals in their working lives. We knew it was crucial for people considering making a leap to a whole different career. Now we see that it's absolutely crucial to sustainability and resilience in times of pandemic and other economic disruption. Also, transportation. Transportation is one of those issues as well. Folks are going to look for the job that's closest at hand if they don't have good transportation, and that's become a very important part of what we do. Also, the digital divide. We knew that it was there. We knew that it was a digital chasm, but boy, COVID-19 has just shined a spotlight on the fact that we absolutely must get universal broadband. And I want to give big kudos to Paul and to Tamara for quickly virtualizing workforce services, but also recognizing that in virtualizing, there was a possibility of leaving folks out. So Paul in particular made sure that there was free Wi-Fi available to workforce headquarters, as well as providing maps of Wi-Fi available in our farther flung counties. Really important. I also want to thank Dean Rhodes, Dr. Rhodes, for his tremendous work at providing courses for individuals to build their tech literacy so that they can access these tremendous programs. And also our local businesses who've provided the hardware, the actual computers and Chromebooks and whatnot, so that students and also employees can access these digital advances and advantages. The Capital Area Workforce Solutions is one of 28 local workforce boards that are under the Texas Workforce Commission. So we can't, I don't want to leave this screen without thanking the Texas Workforce Commission. The Texas Workforce Commission is just a tremendous organization. I had a wonderful briefing with the department a couple of days ago. Executive Director Cerna is just wonderful, a great partner. And it also drove home the fact that Texas Workforce Commission is predominantly a federal program. There's very little state money invested in Texas Workforce Commission other than what's necessary to match the federal dollars. And those federal dollars are absolutely crucial to us. But as those federal dollars flow through the Texas Workforce Commission down to our local workforce boards, I just got to hand it to the locals for stepping up and bringing it on making sure that we don't just stop at the federal baseline of unemployment insurance, childcare, and basic workforce skills development. We go the distance at finding employers who will reach out and grab that local talent, will provide apprenticeships, will do the upskilling, reaching down into employees who they know are top-notch employees who could, with a little bit of skills development, really rise up through the organization and really be the leaders of the organization in the future. That is so important, and I can't thank our local business leaders enough for recognizing that tilling the soil here means that we will have great prosperity in the future. So in closing, I just want to say I'm super proud that we were the first ever workforce development board to have a community workforce plan. Our plan, we intended to have achieved 10,000 by 2021, but then COVID-19 happened, but we are still on track, and that is still the goal. I want to thank the University of Texas for their tremendous research to make sure that we weren't just talking big, that we weren't just sounding good and feeling good, but we were actually doing good. And the Ray Marshall Center has really helped us prove that up. And again, just the tremendous employers and the employees who take the leap of faith to make sure that we're tilling the local soil. So thank you. Thank you very, very much.
Senator Eckhart, thank you. Thank you for your championing of the work, and most importantly, for bringing the energy. We appreciate that.
I'm with you all the way.
Thank you. Our next guest that we have today is Brian Daniel, who is the chairman and commissioner representing the public for the Texas Workforce Commission. Governor Greg Abbott appointed him to the 3-member commission on July 29th, 2019. Prior to his appointment, he served as the executive director of the Office of the Governor's Economic Development Division. Chairman Daniel.
Hey, this is Brian Daniel, Chairman of the Texas Workforce Commission. It's such a pleasure to be able to join you at your meeting today with this video. Let me start by saying thank you to the board and staff at Workforce Solutions Capital Area. I sincerely appreciate your commitment to community-wide goals to put people back to work in good-paying jobs. Boards like yours can play such a key role in our state's economic development efforts. The work you do with both job seekers and employers are critical to our long-term success here in the Lone Star State. It was exciting to see the announcement Tesla was coming to Travis County, and I want to be sure to let Melanie and Tamara know how much we all appreciate the team's contributions to that effort. That's just one of many great examples of how workforce and economic development can partner to foster more opportunities and a better life for Texans. Like you, we've spent the last 6 months finding solutions to the ever-changing challenges created by the COVID-19 pandemic. I appreciate that Workforce Solutions Capital Area's efforts to find ways to serve our business and impacted worker communities effectively. The pace of technological change in the workforce was dramatic before COVID-19, and there's no doubt that businesses will continue adapting jobs that require additional and new skills at a faster and faster pace. As a result, it is critical for us to help people gain the education and training needed to prepare them for the jobs growing in this economy and across Texas. One of our early responses to the rising unemployment claims we saw in April and May was to provide significant resources to provide opportunities for reskilling and upskilling for Texans to use from home. By helping your community access training and build skills, together we can reduce the middle skills gap in Austin and continue attracting and expanding business in Central Texas. The Texas Workforce Commission continues to seek ways to expand virtual education options to COVID-impacted workers with support from boards like Capital Area. Whether your customers are seeking advancement on the job or simply to get back to work, additional skills, education, and upskilling will be critical. I learned from Tamara Atkinson about the Rapid Retraining Initiative called Make It Now. This partnership with Dr. Rhodes at Austin Community College is a great model of how to effectively respond with expedited virtual skills training. By working together, we can efficiently and effectively help get Texans more skills, which lead to higher earnings, more than we ever have. I appreciate your continued commitment to the Capital Area community and encourage you to continue innovating and striving toward the lofty goals you are setting for your region.
All right. I'd like to now turn it over to my friend and partner, Melanie Flowers. Melanie is the head of technical training at Samsung Austin Semiconductor. She's experienced in management with an emphasis on overseeing general business training operations and implementation of policies. Melanie has served many community roles and was elected chair of the board of directors for Workforce Solutions Capital Area in 2019. My friend Melanie Flowers.
Melanie, are you there?
Yes,
Melanie,
sorry,
can't hear
I
you.
apologize. I didn't unmute. But thank you very much, Mark. It's an honor to serve with you on the board as well. On March 6th, the economic impacts of COVID-19 started to become real for many of us in the Austin area. With the cancellation of South by Southwest, Workforce Solutions launched into overdrive as our region's first responder for employment. We've stayed in contact with thousands of jobless benefit claimants via the phone and/or email. We've answered questions about job searches, we've offered connections to services, and we've provided information about career education. As of today, Workforce Solutions has contacted more than 61,000 claimants by phone and sent over 161,000 messages to claimants through the Texas Workforce Commission's Work in Texas system. Next slide, please. As we recognize our schools and area students were particularly impacted by COVID-19, thanks to a special grant from Texas Workforce Commission, we have staff dedicated to support 5 of our local school districts. Prior to COVID-19, these outreach specialists were very hands-on with their support, but they had to quickly shift and adapt to virtual meetings and webinars with the schools and students, and even some of the parents. We understand that educators are one of the major components of our employment ecosystem. So it was important for us to continue supporting our future workforce as the team virtually provided career exploration and college preparation information sessions for students, and also training and employment guidance for both students and their parents. In addition, Workforce Solutions did have to cancel this year's teacher externship program during the summer, but to maintain high teacher and employer engagement, the team recorded more than 30 videos with local teachers interviewing employers about skills, certifications, and career pathways within their organizations. Teachers have incorporated these lessons into their virtual lesson plans. So if you're interested, you can find these virtual videos at climbtheladdertx.com. Thank you. Next slide, please. A little over a week ago, we received some encouraging news. According to the latest figures released by TWC, the unemployment rate in the Austin Round Rock MSA decreased from 6.7% in July to 5.5% in August. The 5.5% unemployment rate represented a little over 70,000 residents seeking jobless benefits. Our region's unemployment remained below the state and national rates of 7% and 8.5%. While unemployment improved, new unemployment claims rose slightly from July. Employers in struggling sectors are finding it harder to keep their business afloat, as what they thought would be temporary furloughs are now becoming permanent. Workforce Solutions has access to exclusive data provided by the Texas Workforce Commission to understand the unemployed labor market in the Travis County area. This slide highlights differences between the current economic downturn and the Great Recession. For instance, in the current situation, we see that young people ages 16 to 34 have been most impacted compared to individuals in their 30s who were affected during the Great Recession. Since March 1st, there were over 148,000 individuals who applied for jobless benefits in Travis County. Of those who applied in Travis County, the areas most affected were Pflugerville, South Austin, and South Congress zip codes. Pflugerville has always been vulnerable to unemployment and continues to be the most impacted zip code, which has now been exacerbated with our current workforce situation. Workforce Solutions is actively looking at unemployment benefit trends to better connect low-income and jobless Austinites to rapid training programs that lead to high-growth industries and higher-paying jobs. We currently completed an analysis to see how many laid-off workers from different occupational backgrounds have been reemployed after applying for jobless benefits. As of August 30th, we see that former face-to-face hospitality and accommodation workers are more likely to still be unemployed than other industries. 70% of workers in food and prep services are not verified to have been reemployed. 66% of impacted workers in sales and retail services are not verified to be reemployed. And 74% formerly working in personal care and service occupations likely aren't working again in those industries. Next slide, please. Although the labor market is always changing and we're not yet back to pre-COVID trends, we do have data that tells us the sectors that are currently driving the recovery in our region. According to recent job posting analytics, there were over 24,000 open jobs in the Austin metro area, and sectors leading the job postings in August were healthcare, retail, professional and tech services, accommodation and food service, and also finance. Within these occupations, there were top hiring trends for software developers, sales associates, maintenance technicians, customer service reps, and more. But in every state, job postings are way down compared with the levels that were in 2019. The 2020 new job postings in August were almost 8,000 less than August 2019. Compound this by the 70,000 unemployed in our region and the tens of thousands outside our region, we recognize the need to train people up. With employers being another major component of our employment ecosystem, it's important that we partner with local employers to enhance their upskilling strategies. This can increase their productivity so that they can promote their current workers, which opens opportunities for entry-level workers who need to get their foot in the door. Jobs Now, which is the Workforce Solutions hiring board that posts new jobs daily, had over 3,000 jobs posted since the beginning of the pandemic. We verify these are open positions with local companies that are ready to hire. These jobs range from retail bank tellers to warehouse loaders to cloud computer engineers. So if you know any employers that are hiring, they can contact Workforce Solutions and post to this job board at no cost to them. Workforce Solutions Capital Area has also procured a virtual career fair platform that is used to connect local employers to local job seekers in the Austin area. This virtual platform allows employers and training providers to create a virtual booth and chat with job seekers that visit their booth. And it has proven to be an invaluable resource during these times. As I mentioned earlier, we have been able to host 6 of these career fairs at zero risk to any of the participants. This resource is also available to partners and employer associations looking to host a large career fair virtually. Our next career fair will be a college and career fair on October 7th for high school students to learn more about training, apprenticeships, and college opportunities in the area. We'll include organizations and training providers that offer certificates, associate's and bachelor's degrees, apprenticeship programs, and employers that have entry-level career ladder opportunities available. So if your organization would like to be a vendor, feel free to reach out to us and let us know. And we will hear in a moment from Dr. Rose. Austin Community College remains a significant education partner for Workforce Solutions and our region. ACC has launched virtual platforms and pathways in partnership with Workforce Solutions Rapid Training Plan. Most of these courses take less than 3 months to complete, so we can rapidly retrain people and get them into the workforce. Next slide, please. As we take stock of our workforce response to COVID-19, it may be reassuring to know that our community has had a strategic plan to guide our work even before this pandemic. Launched in 2017 by Mayor Adler, the City Council, Senator Eckhart, then Judge Eckhart, and the Travis County Commissioners Court, the Community Workforce Plan created the first of its kind framework to measure and move 10,000 people living at or below 200% poverty into middle wage jobs through the power of skills and career education. We organized this plan around 4 strategies, including awareness and enrollment, educational completion with credentials valued by business, employment in targeted sectors, and finally, advancement on the job. We have been asked if in a COVID-19 world, does the plan still make sense? And the answer is simply, as Senator Eckhart said, yes, perhaps now even more. Throughout this pandemic, Workforce Solutions continues to connect local people to local jobs. Our mission has not changed. This is the time when our community needs Workforce Solutions to serve as the hub for bringing educators and training providers, job seekers, and employers together to strengthen our region's employment ecosystem. Next slide, please. At the time we launched the Community Workforce Plan, we engaged UT's Ray Marshall Center as our research and evaluation partner. According to their Year 2 report that will be made public next week, I quote, "After 2 years of the Community Workforce Plan, it makes sense to take a step back and examine how the project has progressed and how it continued to work toward its goals. However, before discussing the number of individuals in this effort, it is important to note that a large part of the project isn't represented specifically in numbers of individuals served or brought out of poverty. The community plan continues to expand its efforts to understand programs and initiatives already underway in the region, lead or collaborate on multiple new initiatives and proposals, continue to respond to the ongoing shifting needs of employers, seek alignment and collaboration across participating community workforce plan organizations, continue to ask deeper questions about the data collected, as well as seek funding to continue the project and expand efforts." The Ray Marshall Center concludes this section of their report by summarizing, "The goal of the Community Workforce Plan is to develop a deeply collaborative workforce ecosystem out of an often fragmented and diverse workforce education system." This table indicates that there were clearly many efforts underway in the local talent pipeline connectivity prior to the Community Workforce Plan. Let's take one example. Prior to the plan, the region was not consistently tracking or reporting whether our adult learners went to work in the industries and jobs related to their education. Now, for most post-secondary programming aligned with targeted industries, we do measure these outcomes. While there is still work to do, we have a greater understanding of who is in our local talent pipeline and how that matches to employers' skill demands. This information contributes to our economic development, educational development, and public policy decisions. Next slide, please. Overall, here is what we see this far into the plan's implementation. A lot of work and combined community effort has gotten us this far, and there is still a lot of work ahead of us. We don't want the economic impacts of COVID-19 to derail our efforts. The Year 2 report focuses on outcomes for individuals enrolled and completing programs between October 2018 and the end of September 2019. Year 2 enrollment is slightly down despite the inclusion of an additional training partners data. Year 2 graduates found employment at higher rates and higher wages compared to Year 1 graduates. We continue to follow up on Year 1 graduates, and for many of these workers, we saw an increased number moved out of poverty a year after graduation. Movement out of poverty requires training and work experience. We look to our employer community to partner with us by offering internships, on-the-job training, and full-time employment opportunities for new graduates. Further, we are pleased that our Year 2 data includes the addition of apprenticeships, which fall under upskilling in the Community Workforce Plan. In Year 2, apprentices represent 903 new participants in our data set. Apprenticeships offer strong placement out of poverty even before individuals complete, which helps individuals in poverty support themselves and their families while they're learning. Thank you to TWC for your continued financial support of apprenticeships. And thank you to Texas Mutual for working with Educate Texas, ACC, and Workforce Solutions to develop apprenticeships in non-traditional sectors such as insurance. Next slide, please. It can be tempting to only talk about how the Community Workforce Plan is building better system alignment and tracking numerical progress. But at Workforce Solutions, we realize that there are people behind these numbers. In connecting local people to local jobs, Workforce Solutions is serving our neighbors. Here are a few examples of opportunities that were orchestrated by Workforce Solutions. Prior to enrolling in the Multi-Craft Core Curriculum, otherwise known as MC3, training program in July, Abigail worked in the food service industry. She realized that her opportunities were limited. She sought work that would pay well and help build a productive life. This was her first step to entering the trades through the local 286. MC3 is a nationally recognized industry certificate that introduces students to the different building trades and teaches them the skills needed for a registered apprenticeship. And the most important part, it is debt-free. They're doing it debt-free. All graduates are offered employment upon graduation day as an electrician's helper, a plumber or pipe fitter, a laborer, a sheet metal worker, a fire sprinkler installer, an insulator, or a carpenter. 10 out of the 12 graduates in Abigail's cohort were under the age of 34. If you remember earlier, I mentioned that the age group that has been most impacted by the pandemic in our region was the ages of 16 to 34. 4 of the graduates were high school class of 2020 grads. So these people are graduating high school and launching a career immediately. On average, program trainees can earn up to $15 an hour during their first year as an apprentice and up to $70,000 a year upon completion. The initial MC3 program, which takes 2 weeks, is also free. So this is an awesome deal. As a result of COVID, more programs are pivoting to offer training online because of social distancing needs and whatnot. The next example is one that I'm particularly excited about. Students will take online classes with ACC and SkillPoint Alliance to earn a certified production tech credential from the Manufacturing Skills Standard Council, or MSSC. After trainees graduate, Workforce Solutions will help graduates find work with one of many companies in our region's advanced manufacturing industries, including Samsung Austin Semiconductor, Applied Materials, NXP, and Cypress. I will say I'm very proud. We've already hired 10 of them. All right, next slide, thank you. So what's the plan ahead for preparing Austin's workforce out of this pandemic? Workforce Solutions is doubling down on the system strengthening and data alignment elements of our community workforce plan. COVID-19 has accelerated digital disruptions in jobs and for workers. In the post-COVID workforce environment, it's clear to us that you earn what you learn, and Workforce Solutions is here to support access to skills education for Central Texans, particularly those workers hardest hit by the economic impacts of the pandemic. In October, we are launching a rapid reskilling initiative with our education partners. Thanks to the generosity of the City of Austin and Travis County, the first phase of Make It Now will serve at least 260 low-income individuals who are unemployed due to COVID-19. Funding will be laser focused on training that is both fast and offers good wages immediately upon graduation. In addition to those individuals who receive job training and employment through Make It Now, Workforce Solutions is developing a technology platform with the capacity to connect thousands more to local resources and a better future. Key to this work is our partnership with Austin Community College and Dr. Rhodes. Dr. Rhodes is Chancellor of Austin Community College. He joined ACC in 2011 with a commitment to close the education gap and accelerate achievement among all students. During Dr. Rhodes' tenure, the college has established new campuses in the city of Elgin, Hayes County, and the refurbished Highland Mall campus in Central Austin. I would now like to turn my virtual mic over to Dr. Rhodes to say a few words about Austin Community College and their response to talent preparation in these times. Dr. Rhodes?
Thank you, Melanie. And thank you for your leadership, as the chair of Workforce Solutions Capital Area. Also, I want to say thank you for your partnership between Samsung and ACC, dynamic leader, and thank you for all your help in making that happen. I also want to take the time to say thank you to Tamara for your amazing leadership on the Community Workforce Plan and the collaborative partnership that exists between ACC and Workforce Solutions. Thank you, thank you. And also want to say thank you to the ACC Riverbat family, because, that's where the action happens. And they have a tremendous commitment. We have a tremendous commitment to the Community Workforce Plan. So, looking at the data, we know that we have a lot of work left to do. Especially in light of the new realities that are presented to us as a result of COVID and the pandemic. But at ACC, we're seeing significant increases in student success rates and persistence rates and graduation rates, the closing of equity gaps, and other important success measurements. However, we also recognize that we have to do a lot more to better serve our low-income students, particularly now in these challenging times that face us. I'd like to share a little more detail about some of the efforts that we're pursuing at ACC to support the goals of the Community Workforce Plan. First, Make It Now on the fast track at ACC. And I want to thank Mayor Adler in the City of Austin, Judge Biscoe and Travis County, and also Senator Sarah Eckhart, because of the vision that existed to create the Community Workforce Plan to begin with. But then also thank you, City of Austin and Travis County, for your leadership in the foundational investment to Workforce Solutions, ACC, and our community partners through the Make It Now initiative. And we believe that we can serve more than 250 Central Texans through this significant initial investment that you've made in us. ACC is fully committed to the Community Workforce Plan and the new Make It Now program. In doing so, we cut the cost of tuition in half for our 12 highest demand rapid reemployment training programs. Second, Career Scholars. I'm so happy to announce that we have enrolled 270 students in our inaugural Career Scholars program this fall, providing up to $5,000 to low-income high school graduates and adults seeking an associate degree in jobs targeted by the Workforce Plan. And I also want to say thank you to Samsung, Austin Semiconductor, and HEB for becoming the first Central Texas businesses to sponsor their own Career Scholars at ACC. Third, enhanced low-income student support services. We formed a new effort to increase and support services for more than 1,000 low-income students at ACC. We're currently doing a deep dive into the data, establishing enhanced outcomes for goal-specific subgroups within low SES, and creating action plans for outreach and support to these students in our community. Fourth, earn and learn industry partnerships. Right now, instructional effort launched last year to increase the number of students who are paid for work that aligns with their courses in the targeted workforce programs under the Community Workforce Plan. There are now 194 students in earn and learn positions, and efforts are underway now at ACC to increase that number in 2020, 2021 by adding new apprenticeships and paid work experiences for ACC students, and specifically to grow the number of low-income students in these positions. And ACC's made a commitment to actually hire our students as part-time employees to help us give them the experiences necessary to be successful. There are several examples this year to highlight of these partnerships, including those with Samsung, with HEB, with Tesla, with Apple, with Google, and most recently with the Army Futures Command, just to name a few. So in closing, there are many more activities and support initiatives taking place at ACC in partnership with Workforce Solutions, the Ray Marshall Center, and our CBO provider community also. This is to increase the alignment, our data infrastructure, and our support services for students that need assistance. And just lastly, let me say thank you to all of you that are on this call for your leadership in making the difference in our community and looking at the future workforce. Thank you.
Mark, I think you're on mute, Mark.
Thank you, Tamara. So I was important to state there, thanking Dr. Rhodes, not only for his efforts in the targeted workforce program, but the tremendous impact it has on the healthcare community also. He is in the work of ACC, a huge pipeline for our staff and employees. So thank you so much. It's my honor and pleasure this time to introduce Samuel Bisco, the Travis County Commissioner, court judge in Travis County. Judge Bisco was appointed to the court in March 2020 and was sworn in May. Judge Bisco previously served as the judge of the Travis County Commissioner's Court. He also served as the county commissioner for Travis County Precinct 1 and as general counsel to the agricultural commissioner, Jim Hightower. Judge?
Mark, thank you for that fine introduction.
Thank you.
I don't know what I had been doing when I took that picture, but I was a happy individual that day. Last month, the Travis County Commissioner's Court voted unanimously to fund phase 1 of the Make It effort. The intent of the effort at full capacity is to reach more than 50,000 Travis County residents who are now out of work because of COVID-19, and to ask them whether we can help them create a plan that would help them and their families earn more money. Travis County has provided the initial funding out of our CARES Act dollars. We were attracted to the commitment from Workforce Solutions to move at the speed of the need, to rapidly reach out, to rapidly help people choose their next step, to rapidly equip them to take that next step, to work with training providers and ACC to restructure their curriculum so that workers can enroll and learn what they need to start a new, different career in a growing field at a higher wage. We will be there each step of the way, as Travis County has been for a long time, to support Workforce Solutions in their work to rapidly empower our people in this new economy. We look forward to working with our employers to ensure that we are teaching the right skills so that they can hire quickly and we can grow together. One of the highlights of my career as an elected official was that during the 16 years that I was Travis County judge before my recent retirement, I had an opportunity to work with Workforce Solutions and to see how we could work together and improve the lives of so many of our residents who were suffering from lack of skills and unemployment. So I'm available to do all I can to help this effort for as long as I remain on the Travis County Commissioners Court. Thanks.
Thank you, Judge. We hope to have you around with us for a long time. Our next introduction is Steve Adler, our mayor, was elected Austin's 52nd mayor in 2014. He moved to Austin to work his way through law school at the University of Texas and practice civil rights law. He later founded a successful eminent domain law practice representing landowners. Mayor Adler also serves as Chief of Staff and General Counsel for Texas State Senator Elliott Shapley. Mayor?
Thanks for the introduction. Proud to be wearing my my Riverbat cap here. Real thankful to be speaking right after Judge Bisco, who I have long admired for his service to our county. Tamara, you and your staff doing an incredible job at Workforce Solutions. Good to see the judge with whom we got together and initiated part of what's being worked on now, just several years ago before she's moved on to bigger and better things. 3 years into this community workforce plan, we've really made some substantial progress. Everybody is working toward lifting 10,000 of our neighbors out of poverty and into middle skill careers. We're the first community that we're aware of that has had a plan like this, a plan that had such a specific goal that was born out of research and data, and that is so tied to metrics that can be measured to judge success. We're learning and adapting to things that we couldn't have planned for back then. Before the virus, we knew career training and employment were key to making our city more affordable, more equitable, and more just. We also know that career training and employment are essential to that economic recovery. So this work is difficult even in the best of times. And now here we are. Workforce Solutions Board of Directors has shown great leadership in adopting a plan that is larger than their direct authority. Workforce Solutions does not manage even 1/10 of the resources that are necessary to reach the goals in our plan, yet they have chosen to drive to better, more equitable employment outcomes, and that's required significant partners. Real pleased to see and thankful for Travis County to step forward to help fund this work with a late budget amendment. Proud to be part of a city council that did the same thing on the last day of our budget hearing in one of the largest changes that we made to the city manager's proposed budget to make sure that we were increasing our support for this program. This does not happen without partners, and we're here today because we wanted to say that we need your help and your partnership as well. There are several different ways in an affordability issue, and helping families earn money through good jobs is a shared responsibility that we all have. So today you've heard the results of the Community Workforce Plan. The headlines are that before COVID, we improved lives through more job placement and better wages. We also saw that reaching and enrolling the learners, particularly those from lower income households, was difficult, even in those better economic times. That means we need to continue to check data and come with additional resources that meet for this moment. We have to check the data that shows our workforce is better off as a result of skills training and job placement, and we need to course correct as needed as we fill those spots. It's encouraging that fewer Austinites are newly out of a job than what we were looking at not just several months ago. But it's also clear that some of the furloughs that we had seen are now becoming permanent. Employers in struggling sectors are finding it harder to keep their businesses afloat. So since 2017, when Senator Eckhart and I, together with Workforce Solutions, set that goal and set up the process and to move 10,000 people out of poverty and into good jobs, we're well on our way, but we need help. And there are a lot of ways that we can help. You know, when you're dealing with affordability, you can either make things cost less, usually through a subsidy of some kind, or you can give people more money to spend. And it's that latter goal that this plan is all about. There are three ways that you can support Workforce Solutions and this work. First, you can spread the word about skills training, especially to those out of work. Skills are at a premium, and workers earn what they learn. And second, you can hire from local education programs. When we have people that are willing to step forward and learn those new skills, and it's hard to do, we should support them in their effort. We should support them locally. And then the third way is grow talent from within. Invest in skills training for your current employees so that we can take everybody into living wages. Know that Workforce Solutions is there to help. If in doubt about where to get assistance, call Workforce Solutions. You know, as part of the coalition and the group to fund the first phase, we talked about the rapid reskilling and retraining, the Make It Now plan. That effort was directed at supporting workers that could benefit from virtual skills education right now by helping them with critical support like childcare. We could use some help there as well. So anyhow, thank you to Workforce Solutions Capital Area Board of Directors and staff. Thank you to the county for putting your shoulder to the stone. Thank you mostly to the employers that are listening right now and the folks in the community listening right now. We need to spread the word. We need more help hiring these folks, internships, apprenticeships. We can get this done, but this is perhaps one of the single most important things that we could do in our community, having seen disproportionalities in our community real clearly as part of this virus. This is one of the most important things we can be doing to make sure that we exit this virus as a more fair, just, and equitable city and county than the ones that entered it. Thanks for your help.
Thank you, Mayor, for your continued vision as we continue to connect local people to local jobs. Our next speaker is Phil Walker. He's the managing partner of the Austin office of Career Partners International, a global HR consulting firm. Phil.
Thank you, Mark. Good afternoon, everyone. We'd like to just take a few moments to recognize the companies that have invested in their employees' professional development. With the impact of COVID-19, unfortunately, many companies are dealing with layoffs and closures. Through all of these challenges, these businesses have still made the effort to step up, maintain, and enhance their workforce with upskilling strategies. This type of upskilling provides a pathway for long-term economic growth for individuals, industry, and the region. Also, upskilling directly contributes to the Austin Metro Area Community Workforce Plan. So, who are these businesses that are taking the time and the effort to grow their workforce for the benefits of their companies, their customers, and the community? Well, we want to recognize 5 of them. American Youth Works is training their employees to adapt with the changing workforce and avoid layoffs in response to the pandemic. Arrive Logistics, who are currently training their staff to meet increased operations and shifted workloads to deliver personal protective equipment products. And we all know that the PPE products are well needed right now. Ascension Seton, who has invested in their employees to fill critical positions, serving the community while increasing retention and building trust of their staff. Austin Western Railroad Watco Companies seized the opportunity to grow their employees through a career ladder approach adapted to complement their company culture. And finally, Patients Premier Choice has been recognizing the hard work of their employees and wants to provide the opportunity for professional and financial growth within the organization while increasing the quality of care through a more skilled workforce. Their decision, these companies made the decision to invest in upgrading the skills of their local workforce, addressing critical hiring needs and skill gaps, and creating a steady pipeline of pre-vetted talent. Collectively, these 5 companies are working towards advancing the skills of 145 employees and investing over $400,000 to upskill their workforce. For building a higher skilled workforce and more competitive economy, Workforce Solutions Capital Area recognizes and awards these companies as the upskilling heroes of Central Texas. As a side note, Workforce Solutions Capital Area would welcome the opportunity to collaborate with your organization around developing an upskilling strategy and/or learn more about what your current program is. So let's ask ourselves, why is upskilling so important to these companies? Well, they tell us in this little short video. Let's watch.
Workforce Solutions Capital Area is an important partner in the workforce development space. They're one of the most respected workforce investment boards in our country. And that respect comes because they listen to the local community and what the emerging workforce needs are.
You know, when you're investing in upskilling, it's important to know that you can't do it alone. We need partners. Partners like Workforce Solutions Capital Area, where you can find funding opportunities. They can help you build a pipeline of qualified candidates to address hard to fill positions. They can help market opportunities like they do with Ascension, or they can provide direct access to their expertise around upskilling, market data, and community needs and gaps.
So upskilling means that we are growing and developing our employees, and that can be done in a couple ways. It could be by developing them in a skill that they've never had before so that they're able to do something completely new. And it also can mean developing them in an area of knowledge that they already have, but in a way that they can further participate and that they can further grow that skill set so that they can be more successful in their role.
It allows us to create an environment of constant innovation. It allows us to change with the times. It allows company leadership and staff to be not afraid of the change, but to embrace it as an opportunity for growth.
Upskilling boosts morale. It increases employee satisfaction and motivation. It increases the capacity for us to adopt new technologies and methods. And most importantly, I think it attracts new talent, creative, innovative individuals who want to work in an organization that has a mission that speaks to them and is bigger than any one of us.
By helping to develop and grow our team, it creates stability for them and their families with long-term career that they will continuously be challenged in and develop new skill sets.
when a person feels like they have the skills to move into leadership, all of a sudden their perspective on the workforce landscape changes, and it creates new opportunities for themselves, but it also brings new opportunities for our organization. It's focused on training others for the future workforce. This growth in skills and really moves not just our employees towards greater economic sustainability, but the hundreds of young people we serve.
By offering our team members the opportunity to grow through upskilling, it allows Watco and the Austin Western Railroad to ensure we meet the needs of our current and future customers. We are able to ensure we have people trained in various areas who are able to provide safe, timely, and efficient service to our customers and meet any additional challenges presented to us. When our team members are successful, our company is successful.
When you invest in our people, that allows them to match up to the needs of our organization in terms of the workforce, in terms of the jobs, that is how we adapt. That is how we become resilient. That is how we ensure that we're prepared not only to address the rapid changes that are going on, but also to be prepared for whatever strategic opportunities there are in the near future.
During the time of the pandemic, so much has changed in people's lives, even from a personal standpoint, where a lot of opportunities have halted. And I've seen that people have this desire to grow and move forward.
Upskilling allows our employees to meet their basic living costs, food, water, shelter. And if we meet their basic living costs, we release a lot of financial burden and stresses in their lives, allowing them to think creatively through problem-solving solutions at work and become better healthcare providers to our patients. If you work full-time, those basic standards should be met. And then when they're met, then your capability and what you can do and what gifts you can bring into your workplace would be limitless.
Thank you, Phil, for the presentation and certainly for recognizing 5 outstanding companies that are contributing to the Austin Metro Community Workforce Plan. Well done. Our next speaker, Aaron Demerson, serves as the commissioner representing the employers for the Texas Workforce Commission. Governor Abbott appointed him in August 2019. Commissioner Demerson previously served as the director of the Office of Employer Initiatives at TWC. He has also served as the senior advisor to Governor Rick Perry and executive director of the Economic Development and Tourism Division in the governor's office. Commissioner Demerson.
Thank you, Mark, for the introduction and the opportunity. Thank you also for Baylor, Scott, and White Health and their investment in our state. Mark, it's indeed a special day. Let me also say thanks to Melanie Flowers with Samsung, the board chair, for Tamara and the Capital Area Workforce Solutions Board. Thank you for the work that you're doing there as well. And then to Rich with Texas Mutual. Rich, thanks for the introduction of the governor. And again, with Texas Mutual and the investment that they're making in our state, we truly, truly appreciate that. And it's a delight always to see Judge Biscoe. Tamara, we have a champion in Sarah Eckhart, Senator Eckhart. She gets economic development, she gets workforce, and it's going to make our jobs a lot easier. So we appreciate her championing the efforts of workforce in a big, big way. If she met with our team about 2 or 3 days ago, she's already got it. And so it's going to work out just fine in that regard. And so Senator, again, congratulations and thank you for what you're doing. I quite often say the secret sauce in Texas is when you bring the worlds of workforce, economic development, and the governor always adds education together. And Tamara, what you have assembled today are those roles of workforce, economic development, and education. And that's the secret sauce in Texas. But when you tie that together with the elected leadership, you begin to really move in a positive direction. And you've already done that here with the panel that you've had here with Judge Biscoe and Mayor Adler and also Dr. Rhodes with ACC. We're in a position to do some great things. And so Congratulations on the accomplishments that you guys are making, and we're looking forward to moving ahead even further. The video that we just saw and heard, upskilling addresses critical hiring needs and skills gaps. It reduces costs, increases profit, and improves company culture and morale. You've heard that. By advancing and training our current workforce, we can fill our high demand, hard to fill roles, increase retention, and open entry level opportunities faster for the 50,000 unemployed that we have here in Travis County. In short, it's time to GOO. And that GOO stands for it's time to grow our own. And so we're looking forward to doing exactly that. You know, Workforce Solutions Capital Area has the resources to help Central Texas companies outline and implement upskilling strategies to meet your specific talent needs. They can also convene information on potential funding and partners needed to help you reach your goals. Have your companies join in Employers Are Heroes Now. Employers Are Heroes Now. And today we're recognizing the work of 5 amazing employers who are investing in the Austin community. The Texas Workforce Commission and Workforce Solutions Capital Area want to recognize you as well. Workforce Solutions Capital Area is a talent hub for the employment ecosystem. Austin companies can utilize their resources to upskill and grow their own talent. If you've not already done so, please reach out to the Workforce Solutions Capital Area to begin training and developing your talent. They'll work with you to ensure your talent is meeting your organization's specific needs. Customized service. Thank you again for the time. Tamara, thank you always for everything that you're doing, and let's continue to make progress as we move forward, going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Demerson. I got something stuck in my mind now. It's time to go. I like that. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Grow your own. Our next speaker, Tomas Miranda, is founder and CEO of Spark Ovation Advisors, a management consulting and technology advisory firm. Tomas is a member of the Workforce Solution Capital Area's Board of Directors.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And thank you again, Commissioner Demerson, and all of the other distinguished speakers who joined us for this afternoon's event called The Plan Ahead, Preparing Austin's Workforce Out of the Pandemic. Thank you again to Rich Gergasco and Texas Mutual for your incredible support of Workforce Solutions in all its forms, including as today's event sponsor. My name is Tomas Miranda, and in addition to serving on the boards of Mission Capital, Aero, and the Texas Lyceum, I'm a proud member of the Workforce Solutions Capital Area Board of Directors. As a technology advisor and a person who started my education career or my education journey in the community college system, I know firsthand how critical skill building is to grow in a career. If you are ready to be an upskilling hero or find local talent for your open entry and mid-level job positions, please contact us at Workforce Solutions Capital Area. We stand ready to assist you to connect to local talent, to your local jobs. After all, it's our best plan ahead for the Austin community, region, and our great state. Thank you very much for your time.
All right, it is time to go. We've reached the conclusion of our event, The Plan Ahead, Preparing Austin's Workforce Out of this Pandemic. I'll now turn it back over to our board chair, Melanie Flowers. Melanie.
Thank you very much, Mark. And thanks again to everyone for joining us today. Here's what we'd like you to do next. We first want you to go out and check out Workforce Solutions on all of our social media platforms. There are so many things and activities happening to move our employment ecosystem forward. You can find whatever you need there to get you started. Also, take note of this website listed here. In the coming days, we will post a PDF of the slide deck with pre-recorded videos and also a one-page infographic of the Year 2 Community Workforce Plan data. So you'll be able to get all of that in the coming days here at this website. I also want to thank our leaders from across the state and our region who continue to support Workforce Solutions. It truly takes all of you to make for a strong employment ecosystem. So all of the leaders on the panel, all of the participants, it takes all of us to make this happen. And finally, I'd like to thank the incredible staff at Workforce Solutions. You make all of this look so easy, and we know that it's not. You have an amazing team. You are an amazing team, and so we want to thank you. We want everybody to stay safe and healthy out there. And with that, we'll bid you good night.
Good night, everyone. Thank you again.
Good night. Thank you.